In October 2012, the New York Times stated that Ford Motor Company sells almost 200,000 vehicles a month. And because about 90% of those vehicles are financed through Ford Motor Credit Company, it's obvious that financing a vehicle is becoming a regular event in the process of buying a car. And obviously you're all here receiving a higher education so that you can increase your chances of gainful employment. And surely with all that money that you're going to be making after graduation, you'll buy a new car at some point in your life. And unless you plan on paying cash, Ford Motor Credit Company is going to be your best bet on getting you the right interest rate and the right amount of money to buy a new car. And with my finance degree that I'm halfway through and my past work experience at Ford, I want to be the man behind the desk that gets you the money. So in the next few minutes, we're going to take a look at some of the perks of the job of a finance manager, like the salary and the vacation time, and some of the not so good sides, like a couple of the responsibilities and duties. So let's take a look at the bad stuff first so we can end on a good note. So to become a finance manager, years of preparation are required before you can just walk in the door and start financing cars. My current finance manager, Gene Whedon, at my dealership stated that not knowing every step of the car buying process will make you fail 100% of the time in the finance office. You must know every step before you can successfully work a deal with your customer. Many finance guys start from the bottom and work their way to the top with no degree, but I've talked to the management at my dealership a couple of times about this, and they think it's a lot more efficient for me to get a finance degree and to work my way up quicker. And while on the topic of negatives, Gene also stated that he hated the hours. It's Monday through Friday and a lot of the time Saturday, 8 o'clock to 7 o'clock. And if a car deal is worked late, a couple times a week, he'll sometimes work 80 hours a week. So now let's take a look at some of the positive aspects so you can see why it is so attractive to me. While talking to Dave Brown, the new car sales manager, he explained a couple of the perks, such as a demo vehicle for personal and business use. Also, vacation time. Since I've started so young, by the time I'm 29 years old, I'll be able to take 3 weeks vacation every year. And third, and probably the most enticing to me, is the employee discount on new and used vehicles. Ford doesn't really broadcast the exact number, but on most vehicles, a Ford employee can get it for almost half the MSRP. And since every dealership has different duties for their finance manager, salary information isn't really something you can just look up on the internet. And I felt pretty uncomfortable asking Gene about his salary, so instead I interviewed Bob Biney, our dealership owner, about the position. And after speaking with him, I was not disappointed. I usually start my finance boys out with $80,000 a year and let them go up from there. My finance manager makes roughly $115,000. How does that sound to you? Fantastic, I replied, as I'm sure most of you guys would have. After my round of interviews, learning some salary information, workload duties, and perks of the job, I felt assured that this is a career I would appreciate because of my immense love for automobiles. As we took a look into my future career together, I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and thank you guys for listening.